Coming up today on the Village Idiom. Oh, man, that is really interesting. I've never heard that before about Marcel Marceau. That's really cool.
It's because he's from Mime Club. And the first rule of Mime Club is to not talk about Mime Club.
You're on fire today. Oh, my goodness.
Village Idiom.
Hello, and welcome to the Village Idiom.
Yes, y'all. We are a podcast that once a week takes a shallow dive into an English idiom. We'll talk about its usage, its origins, but really it's just an excuse to,
so shallow.
Like a thread.
No one does shallow like we do.
No. We're allowed to rabbit trail. We're allowed to otherwise entertain.
Relationships, entertainment, nothing is as shallow as the Village Idiom.
Nice. My name is Jurassic Mark, and beside me is Skinny. And to introduce today's idiom is this quote. I'm going to challenge you with it. 2008 TV series.
We don't do serious on the Village Idiom.
No. Let's see if any of our Village Idiom children can guess this quote before Skinny does.
I'm assuming Saul Goodman doesn't need to know. Mum's.The.Word.
There you go.
It's from Breaking Bad, the guy.
Absolutely. Do you know his name?
No, but I can clearly see him. He's fantastic.
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
the bodyguard, assassin-y type guy.
Totally. He was the muscle.
What was his name?
So in the show, his name is Mike.
Mike. Okay, there you go.
Mike.
Yeah, Mike is clever.
That's played by Jonathan Banks. Mike. I always think it's funny with character names. Like somebody had to come up with the name Mike Ehrmantraut. Like, let's name the muscle guy Mike.
Mike Ehrmantraut?
Yeah, like...
Whose last name is Ehrmantraut?
Mike's is.
Like he's from the Navy or some thing. Or was I guess the guys who fly, the Ehrmantraut. Ehrmantraut, report for duty, that kind of thing.
Ehrmantraut.
Well, a happy Mother's Day as well for our legitimate mothers out there.
Mother's Day is coming up, which is why we chose today's idiom.
Which clearly put out by Mike, Mums.The.Word.
Mums.The.Word.
Fantastic. So we love you, moms, and particularly Beverly.
Yeah.
I do love you.
Yeah. Mums.The.Word. I immediately had this image come to mind. This is so stupid. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
So terrible. I had a Saturday Night Live version of Celebrity Jeopardy come to mind.
Okay.
Where the category is Mother's Day and the celebrities are Vanilla Ice, Cameo, and Freddie Mercury.
That's funny.
and then Alex says, okay, the answer is Mum. Oh, Cameo, you buzzed in first. What's the word? A word up.
That's so funny.
Because Mums.The.Word.
Mums.The.Word up.
So stupid.
It's so funny that you went there with all that.
I know, right? Like,
was this like an actual dream or did it
maybe
happen?
that's what it was. No, maybe
dream,
I just...
reality, whatever. Sometimes the two would get confusing.
How about you?
Well, we're always excited. Mother's Day and Father's Day are funny because on Mother's Day, mom celebrate all this sort of stuff. But on Father's Day, I'm not sure what forces in the universe are at play that make this happen. But that's when they put on like, hey, we're doing the ballet recital.
Right.
On Father's Day? Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, we got the play performance. It's going to be on Sunday afternoon. We're thinking right in the middle of Father's Day. How's that? And that's what we're going to do the tournament. Well,
yeah.
When's the tournament? Well, that's going to be on Father's Day. And so Mother's Day is not like that.
No, Mother's Day is, and I
think women are the planners.
I think the perfect Mother's Day is so different from the perfect Father's Day. Perfect Mother's Day is like flowers and kids oohing and awing and taking them out for dinner and that kind of thing. Father's Day, I still like all the crafts that kids like when they make it with their own hands.
Did you say crap?
No.
Oh, I like that. Freudian here.
Yeah, but then it's like, okay, so we're done. Okay, I'm napping the rest of the day.
Yes.
It's Father's Day.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that. We get out with and do some fun dad stuff too, but it's it must be that women plan the big far out calendar and every year it's the same thing. Oh my goodness, I completely didn't know that was the Father's Day weekend. How do you manage to put it every year on Father's Day weekend?
Well, they don't plan the recitals. That's your wife plans the recitals.
No. We're talking like ballet company. This year, we got double booked this upcoming Father's Day one. It's there is a ballet recital and my kid's year-end drama performance on Father's Day. So I know. And so it's exciting, but that nap
Dad's the word.
That's the word. Word up. That nap is looking not so good though. So whatever.
Well, let's get into the idiom. Let's talk about the correct usage. So today's Mums.The.Word, it basically means shut up. It means keep a secret.
Shut up. Everybody say.
It means to remain silent about something. So, like, I might tell Skinny a secret, like, hey, Skinny, I'm pregnant. Just found out.
Oh, Dad's the word.
But I haven't told anybody yet, so it's just between you and me. You might reply with, hey, Mum's the word.
Is everything okay? Is how I would respond.
I think you've been given some misinformation.
Yeah. You're not quite sure about it. You missed anatomy class.
Exactly. So let's get into it, and let's start with this.
Said some words, where'd they go? Where'd they go? No one can know. I turned around and looked behind. Those words came from another mind. Origin.
Yeah.
Boom, the origins. What do you got?
Man, some of our origins go way back, and this one does too. But there's not a lot. Like it's fairly self-explanatory with this one. But let's get into it anyway. Even though for fun we chose to do Mums.The.Word on the week of Mother's Day.
Yeah.
The truth is, it has nothing to do with mothers or mummies.
Right.
Egyptian mummies.
How about yummy mummies?
I was kind of it has nothing to do with that either. That'd be Yums.The.Word. I actually really hoped it had some tie to Egyptian mummies because I thought that'd be interesting. But no.
But they're not talking a lot.
It doesn't even... No. I know. Maybe that's why they wrapped them starting at the head first.
Just in
Mummy's
case.
the word.
Yeah. They started off not dead until they started wrapping them.
That's right. Yeah. Mum's the word now that you can't breathe. The other one, usage of MUM, mum, is short for chrysanthemums. And here's an interesting thing that kind of ties it together, but is not where it comes from, is I don't know why this isn't true like globally, but chrysanthemum is the traditional flower to give on Mother's Day in Australia.
Really?
In Australia.
Okay.
Here, it's carnations.
Is this okay? So it's not like a Commonwealth thing.
No. It's specific. But like that should be a thing.
Maybe there's nothing else that grows in Australia like that that's not like poisonous.
Well, I was more wondering if we're just much cheaper than Australian families. It's like chrysanthemums. I'm not getting you that.
I just think of like that.
How about a carnation?
Well, if you're out in Australia and it's just like sand and desolation everywhere, it's like, I got you a nice cactus or a nice and beautiful succulent.
Right.
Yeah. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. So on the before we get into since it's not mums or it's not mothers, it's not mummies, it's not chrysanthemums. Before we get into the true definition, let me play you one more clip. I'm going to challenge you again. You got the first one really good, and so again, if you're listening, all our Village Idiom children out there, try and beat Skinny to the punch. On this one, kind of uses the chrysanthemum version of this.
So, what do we got? Who's on the list? Fire 'em at me.
First suspect, Hedda Blumentoff, proprietor of Mums.The.Word floral shop.
No, not her.
There
That
you
sounds
go.
very Groot.
Not Groot.
Not Groot. Gru.
I am Gru.
Groot. With that nice Eastern European
Yeah.
dark hair and everything. And a little is she Kristen Wiig in that one?
Yeah, that's Kristen Wiig plays Lucy.
sounds,
So that's exactly who you were listening to right there.
Despicable Me.
You're on fire today with the movie quotes.
Those particular voices are easy.
Yeah, that's true.
So one of the other interesting things in the origin thing that I came across was that it was instead of the mum, like so that it was Mums.The.Word.
Yeah.
And so it was about that staying silent. It's got nothing to do with mum anything. It's Mums.The.Word. Like keep your lips sealed.
Your closed mouth, that's the sound you make.
Right. Which gets into mime. Mime.
Right.
And so that mimes the word.
Right. So, but did you, I didn't find the connection. And when I looked up the etymology of mime, it came from the word mimic.
Well, there's pantomime, or some people just say panto, because the mime is silent.
Did you make that up?
Can't take credit for that. But yeah, this whole mime genre of just communicating without words.
Right. So the word mum, M-U-M, has been around forever, but first appeared in print, as far as I could tell, in William Langland's Middle English narrative poem called Piers Plowman. And that's 1376.
Oh dear, that's
it
early.
goes back.
That's
And
way back
Here
then.
it is. I'm going to try my Middle English here. Thou mightest better met in the mist on Malvern Hullis than gut in the mum of her mouth till Monet we're shrewd. Shoed. I got it wrong at the end. I thought I was doing pretty good.
I will have a second order of sausage, please.
Yeah, that basically translated is you might as well try to measure the mist on the Malvern Hills than to try and get her to break her silence without payment.
That must be very
if you listen really close, you get
specific to a region.
Get into a mum of her mouth is in there. So you're not going to get anything but silence out of her mouth.
The miming. I've ever seen a panto play.
Not, just like a street performer.
At Christmas time, I was going through an English program, like a Channel 4, and they had some panto people on it. It was kind of like, I don't say burlesque, but it was like this, what's that, like a Cirque du Soleil?
Yeah.
Like with just that over the top costuming, but not like acrobatic, but just making like fun, like little kids, like
Yeah,
and a little Christmas vein.
That is where mum
panto
comes from. But see, I wonder if we're talking about the same thing, because I found like old English folklore hung around this thing called mumming or mummers.
Yeah.
Which was like acting and dancing and a lot of drinking apparently.
Yes.
And crazy costumes.
That's pantomime.
Okay, so they were called mummers, those guys that performed that, and it was like collecting of alms and all sorts of things, but it was just wild costumes, everything but speaking.
I had a
they
friend
were mummers.
Mummers. There is a school in England. I had a friend go off to learn how to do this, but I haven't heard from him in a long time.
You're the worst. Oh man!
So probably the most famous of mime people. You got to go back to like Marcel Marceau,
Right.
who is probably the only. There's probably others, but the only like household name, barely. If your household is in France, maybe.
Yeah.
Household mimers.
Now
So
people probably reference that tape face guy. You know who I'm talking about?
I do know Tape Face.
Tape Face.
He was like Whiteface, like if there was such a because he was French but they do that.
Was he French too? Tape Face.
I don't know about
or Marcel Marceau.
Marcel Marceau.
Oh,
was
okay.
French.
I thought you were describing Tape Face,
Tape Face.
who was on one of those talent shows. I can't remember.
Right, and so doing yourself up in that white paint with the like super bright red lipsticky thing.
Was he the first to do that? Because that's a classic mime look.
No, but so the interesting part with that, as I was reading through on a bit of Marceau's life, this is kind of a little quick diversion here, but worth the time. So according to Marceau, when he was 5 years of age, his mother took him to see a Charlie Chaplin film, which entranced him and led him to want to become a mime.
Interesting, because movies were silent.
The first time he used mime was after France was invaded. And in order to keep the Jewish children quiet, Marceau was Jewish, in order to keep the Jewish children quiet while he helped them escape to Switzerland.
He would do a silent
thing.
drama thingy.
Yeah.
No way.
That's kind of interesting.
I've never heard that.
He was in the French Resistance, apparently. He and his brother their original name was, or last name was not Marceau, but they took Marceau as the naming. It was a French general or somebody who was in the resistance, and so they took his name.
No way.
Yeah, isn't that kind of interesting?
That's very interesting.
And so he used that whole miming to keep.
So he didn't start miming, but he took miming and used it to silence the children.
Right.
Like, not to silence them, but to keep their eyes on him, silent. You got to be quiet. Like, nobody's talking during a mime.
Right.
Right. That's brilliant.
And so when he died, he was buried in a glass coffin and put into this position, like he was looking out.
For those of you just listening, Vince is doing the invisible box.
He was buried in the box that he's been trying to escape from for the last 50 years. So but that's an interesting little bit of mime history.
Oh man, that is really interesting. I've never heard that before about Marcel Marceau. That's really cool.
It's because he's from Mime Club, and the first rule of Mime Club is to not talk about Mime Club.
You're on fire today. Oh my goodness. Before we take a little break, going back to the mummers play, I found this one little tidbit which I thought was interesting, is the history of mummers has only been passed on, ironically, by word of mouth. There's actually
hilarious.
There's no surviving scripts.
That is too funny.
Oral
tradition for miming.
Yeah. The mummers, the mumming of plays has only been talked about since. There's no record of it. There's no written script. There were scripts back in the day, that they followed. It was like legit drama.
Is there a song called The Mummers Dance?
Really?
Yeah.
Is this another joke?
Nope.
Are you setting up a joke?
I'm not.
Lob it up into the air? Where's the punchline?
No.
Bam.
I think of like mum, like that's like that mumble rap is maybe what it evolved to.
Oh my
the
goodness.
irony of an oral tradition passing along mime. How brilliant!
It actually really is fascinating to me, anyway.
Cool.
Hey, Village Idiom children out there, what if you could get paid to listen to the Village Idiom?
We have been using an app called Podcoin. It's available for your iPhone and Android. It's free. It's easy.
And it's awesome. It actually turns your podcast listening into like Amazon gift cards, Starbucks gift cards.
But if you're a charitable type person, you can take the throughout your listening, you get pod coins, and you can use those pod coins. You can get blankets for the homeless. You can buy rice for the hungry. There's all sorts of charitable things to do.
It's so great. So download the Podcoin app and use invite code Village Idiom. That's Village Idiom, one word, but the V and the I are capitals. And you'll get 300 Podcoin just for signing up if you use our code.
300 pod coins, Village Idiom. Sign up, check it out.
You know what? The earliest version of the phrase, as it is now, close. The earliest version of the phrase was Mum is counsel. So not Mums.The.Word, Mum is counsel. So you're advised to say nothing.
Why do you suppose that is in like legal things like don't tell them anything?
I don't know. I guess because people are idiots in general. And so
do you think?
Don't say anything. Don't let the lawyer speak. Don't say anything. Oh, I'm just going to say I didn't do it.
Just
Don't.
one more thing.
Don't.
Well, that I did that.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
That's probably why. Like, let the experts speak.
So, is counsel.
Yeah, Mum's counsel. That so you say nothing, and so that form of the phrase was used in John Palsgrave's 1540 translation of the Latin text, the Comedy of Acalastus.
I do like how does have a variety of meaning. Like is the counsel, is the word, like mum's the word, but it could also be like this is delicious.
You know what's actually interesting is mum is because it's the mouth is closed, mum,
Like with babies,
but also
like
when you're singing, it's hum. And if you
Meditating?
are unable to speak, you're dumb. Like the old word for that.
Wow,
dumb.
that's
Dumb,
kind of harsh.
Hum, mum. They're all like what's that word when the word you're using
Like an onomatopoeia.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Onomatopoeia.
It sounds like that. I'm not sure if it's quite that, but it sounds like onomatopoeia.
Mum.
That's an onomatopoeia joke.
So that phrase was, I dare not to do so much as put my hand in my mouth and say, Mum is counsel.
Scooby-Doo.
Mum. What?
It could be
Is the word?
Yeah, exactly. Yoda, give me Yoda.
Is the word. I did that better than I thought I would.
Hard to see the idiom is. That was another landmark thing that just happened this past week.
What's that?
It was May the 4th. Came through.
Yes, may the 4th be with you.
So, true to this rabbit trail story, I was at another wedding this weekend.
Oh, yeah?
On the 4th, and the minister again was fantastic.
Same guy?
Same
Or the-
guy. No, same
No,
guy.
it was not.
It was the same guy.
What?
I kid you not. Same guy. Gets up, and so all the stuff happening, beautiful, bride, groom, everyone's looking great, the whole thing, da-da-da-da-da. At the very end, prays for them. And so, pray, amen.
Yeah.
Everyone's paused. May the 4th be with you. You may kiss the bride.
The minister said that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, because they got married on May the 4th.
You have
He
to.
actually did it.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
great.
That's pretty funny.
That's great. Welcome to the dark side.
Well, the mum was not the word. Because you got to speak now or forever hold your peace.
Or forever hold your peace.
Right.
Oh, it's so appropriate.
Right.
Shakespeare always seems to make his way into our origin story, and he got in the act here too. He used mum in Henry VI, Part 2, which is 1592, says, seal up your lips and give no words but mum. As soon as I read that, I'm like, seal up your lips. Instantly reminded me of like Matrix, when there's no mouth on Neo.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Like it's torture. Like it's
Agent Smith with that little put that little shrimp thing in his belly.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And the mouth disappears. It's brutal. So there you go. That's basically origins. Mums.The.Word is now just a standard way of telling people, please be quiet.
Now, would you say overall in your home, obviously, we're celebrating as well with this Mums.The.Word Mother's Day. Would you say, a shout out to my mom, love you, Karen. It's weird to say my mom's name like that, but in your home, was your mom more talkative? Or was your dad more talkative? Was it Mums.The.Word, or Mums.The.Word, or Mums the boss?
Like who has the word, who has the say?
Yeah, well, just
my dad definitely had the say. I don't think one was more talkative than the other, but I would say my dad had the say, and my mom backed him up no matter what.
Oh, nice!
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's like a
and I love my mom. I didn't jump in.
I do too.
So I love Bev. I don't think I've ever said I love Bev before. It is weird.
It is weird.
Oh, I missed one.
Well, let's finish off that thought then. And so your dad may have had the final word, but your mom was in there.
He had the first word, the final word, and she backed him up no matter what.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So mom is the word.
Mom's the word. Dad's the word. Mom's the enforcer. Something like that.
Fantastic.
I was going to say, I just failed to say the first in-print Mums.The.Word, like those exact words, was 1720. So it took hundreds of years.
It's been around for like a long time.
Yeah, and that was in a walk around London and Westminster. The works of Mr. Thomas Brown. So, yeah, that's the origins.
There you go.
All the way to the end.
It's pretty fantastic background on that particular idiom.
Yeah, it's always fun. Like, we do this to set a tone for what we're going to talk about, but then you get into the origins, you're like, even what you were saying about Marcel Marceau, I'm like, that's fascinating.
It's interesting.
Super, super cool.
Often life is more interesting than fiction.
Right. Well, we usually challenge each other in these episodes, but I'm going to challenge with a joke. So if you're listening for the first time, Skinny and I, we challenge each other to come to the table with an original joke, either based on our idiom or somehow in the same realm. So, but before we get there, one more audio challenge for you, man. Put your ears on. You'll get this one.
Okay.
I read an article about Japanese scientists who inserted DNA from luminous jellyfish into other animals, and I thought, hey, fish night lights.
Fish night lights.
It's $1 billion idea.
That's so funny.
Mums.The.Word.
There you go.
There it is. That's a little Big Bang.
Big Bang Theory. Maybe I'm making them too easy for you, man.
Well, at least it's more like modern. It's when we got into like the 80s and 90s
sure.
that you're like, oh my goodness.
So that's Leonard and Sheldon or Johnny Galecki and Jim Parsons. So I mentioned the joke. Did you come prepared with a joke?
I did actually. My putting my hands like the
miming for a podcast is brilliant. Vince keeps doing mime actions. We're recording audio.
That when he was buried, that he put his hands that they put him in a glass coffin.
You can't say like this.
That they put his hands in this finger curled mime looking around a corner position.
Yeah.
That so that was my joke, but I did have a backup in just in case. That when Marcel Marceau died, the mime community had a moment of talking.
Did you make that
I made that up.
Oh man, I think your best. I think that's your best joke so far. Oh, I don't even want to tell a joke now. Oh man, kudos to you. I'm writing that one down. That was awesome. Okay, I didn't come with a joke. So this is okay. I came with the potential of a bit or a sketch.
Something
like
I
could see this working.
Flesh this out a bit.
If it still existed,
All right.
I would pitch this at a Monty Python planning meeting. Like, got this idea for a sketch. It's kind of so. Here's the premise: World War II, right?
Meanwhile, in the writers' room.
Yeah, exactly like that. World War, which means it's not finished. Maybe we could come help me out here.
Like the Wolf's Lair is actually a writing room instead of a
World War II. Okay. Now, while every war, every military strategy consists of secrets and codes and passwords, that kind of thing. Nazi Germany, and this part's real, they bragged about, I don't know if you've seen the movie The Imitation Game with Benedict Cumberbatch, but they bragged about having an unbreakable...
The Enigma machine, unbreakable
code, right? And so they went to all these great lengths when really all Germany had to do was make their main password the word mum. That's all they had to do. Because if any Germans were captured by the British or Americans and they would tell us the word, Mums.The.Word. We can't break them, sir. We can't break them. Mums.The.Word.
That would make a good sketch. That would make a great sketch.
Right?
Yeah, I could see that playing out exactly.
Maybe we
as
need to
described.
beat them. 9! Write down. Maybe it starts with a 9.
That's funny. There has to be something in there. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all I care about. That's my bit. My potential bit.
Very good. Yeah, you have to. I go in my imagination, but I could that would be a great little Monty Python-y type gag.
There you go.
Mum is the word.
But that's not the only way we challenge each other. We've also got our favorite game.
The game to end all games.
It's called Riddle Inc. Riddle Inc. is a game we have made up that challenges each of us. It's sort of a 2-part trivia-based riddle that requires a 2-part overlapping answer, overlapping by sound or word or syllable. And you'll catch on. You hear a couple of these. But before we challenge each other or our Village Idiom children out there, I do have some shout-outs. So we had one that went missed. And I don't know if people just like, I'm not going to try. And then we last week said, nobody answered this one. So a few came in. So I'm going to give it to the first one. Our turnip truck episode. Our riddle link was what a flora colossus from Planet X would say to define a turnip. And a flora colossus from Planet X was...
I am Groot.
Groot. Mm-hmm. So the answer is, I am Groot vegetable.
That's nice.
I am Groot, root vegetable. So thank you, Beetle Bat, for coming to the table with that one. And then last week's, it was Who Spoiled This Secret in Iraq, which was our Who Let the Cat Out of the Bag episode. And Who Spoiled the Secret is Who Let the Cat Out of the Bag. The Iraq clue was Baghdad, so the correct answer is Who Let the Cat Out of the Baghdad.
Nice.
And so I'm throwing 2 shout-outs to Rick Norman 1018 and R_D_squared.
Nice.
Both
I love
successfully
those people.
answered. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
So that hopefully gave you kind of a heads up of how the game is played. You got one question with 2 parts to it and it requires an overlapping answer. So let's go back and forth. You got one?
Let me give you one to get things rolling. Stay silent. Wave your hands in the air like you don't care. Glide by the people so they stop to look and stare.
What?
Stay silent.
Okay. Mums.The.Word.
Wave your hands in the air like you don't care.
Is it
Glide by the people as they stop to look and stare.
What I was talking about before? Mums.The.Word up? What's the word up?
Mums.The.Word up.
Yes. Oh, man.
You did this.
I wrecked it for you.
Right into it. I'm like... What are the odds that you landed
on Cameo?
On the Cameo reference, right? And that was my riddle link.
What are the odds that our listeners even remember Cameo?
Pretty good for at least that song.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Word up.
Okay, good one.
Yeah.
Okay, I hope this is kind of funny. We have a theme going on, an accidental theme. Okay, here's mine for you. I promise to keep silent about how Vanilla Ice ends Ice Ice Baby.
Mums.The.Word to your mother.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, right? It's a double.
Oh, that's good. Whoa. That's better than the other one. That's better than mine. That because it's double mum ender. Yeah. Very clever. I like you.
Okay, I'll give you another one.
Okay. French mimer Mike Myers weds a butcher named Rose.
Okay. Marcel Marceau, I married an axe murderer.
Yes.
I had to think for a second. What's the title? Okay, good. Okay, so that's how you play. We're going to do one more, but don't jump in with an answer even if you get it, Skinny.
Sure.
I'm going to leave it hanging out there. This is for all of our Village-idiomate children to play along.
Let me jump in there with some ways that they can contact us
great.
With the answers to this upcoming riddle link.
Perfect.
Okay, so reach out either in the comments or DM at Instagram. It's the.village.idiom or email thevillageidiompodcast@gmail.com or Facebook 3 Minutes Gone or YouTube 3 Minutes Gone, 3, number 3. So 3 minutes gone.
Yeah, perfect.
So that's the ways that you can reach out to us. We would love to hear from you.
Not just the answers. Like, just reach out, tell us what you think of the show and any, what do you hate, what do you love?
Yeah.
All of it.
We can take it.
Okay, here is this week's hanging riddle link. I'm trying to find it in my notes here.
Well, it'll be a good one. Are you doing a mime silent thing right now? 'Cause
You know what?
It's very clever.
I don't have it here. I suck.
What does that mean?
That means there's no riddle ink.
Well, there has to be
I have
something.
last week sitting there. Oh,
How could
okay,
you possibly?
Wait.
Okay, you got to come up with something on the fly that doesn't suck.
Yeah.
Okay. Marcel Marceau's famous character plays a trick on you. Marcel Marceau's famous character plays a trick on you.
Okay.
And that will be something on the fly. We're making it up as we go.
I'm disappointed in myself.
That's all good. These things happen, buddy. So I am Skinny.
And I am Jurassic, disappointingly, Mark.
And these are the Village Idioms.
Mums.The.Word, don't start a rule, 'cause his best ain't Sue, don't know. 'Cause she's so Star Wars.
That's 3 minutes gone.